What's going on, family? You're tuning in to Real Ass Real Radio 104.1, your nightcap of comedy. My name is Ken Miller in the big chair tonight. I know. Y'all so used to hearing James' voice, but James is going to be off for the next couple of days because it is the big homie's birthday. So he's out with his wife doing whatever she tells him to do. So that's pretty much how James runs. And trust me, when he gets back, I can guarantee you he got a brand new pair of Air Force Ones because James get the exact same gift every year for his birthday. So I'm running the big chat tonight, so we're gonna have a good time. I'm joining the virtual studio with my comedy brothers. I'm gonna start off with Miguel Colon Jr. Good to see you again
What
after
up,
last
man?
night.
Yeah, man. You know, for James's birthday, Michelle's like, I'm gonna let you get behind me this time. He's like, ooh. And the dude in the Gimp mask is sitting in the corner. He's like, Happy birthday, James. Thanks,
Bro.
Troy.
Oh my goodness, man. Good
Sweet.
show last night, too, brother.
Yeah, man. We did the Don't Tell comedy show that Jari Rice puts on. It was fire lineup, too,
I'm
man.
talking about everybody, and it was so dope to have Cam Patterson drop in. Shout out to our little brother, nephew, Cam Patterson. It was from start to finish. Everybody had a great. I wanted Shaw Smith to bomb, and he did good.
Hey,
You know what
I
I mean?
was
Like,
trying
I
to
was
figure
like,
out who was.
come
I was
on,
trying to
come
figure out
on.
who was gonna bomb. Because even when it's a tight lineup like that, every now and then one of the homies bombs, and I was hoping for it. Let me tell you guys, there is nothing more fun as a comic than watching one of your friends bomb on stage, man. Especially when you know they're good. Like when they're not good, it just starts getting sad. You're like, bro, I don't know why this cat keeps doing it. But like when you know that they're good, it's like, oh, this is perfect. They're dying.
Oh, and then afterwards we go have a drink and just destroy him for the rest of the night.
Yeah. You just make sure he knows that like you're
Good
better than
times
this, but
last
not
night.
tonight.
Yeah, man. Also joined the virtual studio from Kaufman and Lynn, been serving Orlando for over 20 years. The ambassador of Quan himself, Mr. Jeff Kaufman. What's up, Jeffrey?
Man, I'm telling you, James, it's good to know that Michelle has two birthdays every year.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
we just saw James yesterday. He was looking good. He was getting ready for his birthday. He got his bucket of chapstick. He was ready to go.
I'm gonna tell y'all a secret, man. I'm gonna tell you, he can't stop me. I gave James a boner pill for his birthday. I said, "Here you go, dog." I said, "Go." I said, "This is like a star in Mario Brothers." I said, "You go eat this." I said, "Yo, man, I got you, player. I got you."
Oh, that is hilarious, man. But we do have a special guest kicking with us. Let me make sure I get the date right. May 11th, 8 p.m. at the State Theater, Houston, Florida. Home of the Bay Street Players. James John will be headlining along with Jake Clark and Joe Latham at the Historic Theater in Eustis. We got Mr. Mitch Bozeman. Am I saying it right?
Yes,
Mitch
sir.
Bozeman here with
Thank
us to talk about the theater, talk about the show, man. Thanks for coming on, Mitch.
Hey, thanks for having me. It's community theater. It's in Eustis. The building has been around since 1922.
Ooh, since you weren't allowed to go in there, Ken.
I know, right?
Oh man,
yeah. This dude got me promoting something I can't even go to.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Ooh,
you
this gonna
definitely
be a
get in there
good
now.
play. It's gonna be a good play. Woo, woo.
Oh
During the
man.
second act, we getting out of here. We going to Canada. Okay.
No, but and they do regular, plays, musicals, and have been for, it's going on their 50th season. Their last show is Hair, which opens up at the end of this month. And then that's the end of the 49th season. 50th season starts next year, or later on this year, I should say. But in the meantime, excuse me, there's times when the stage is dark. And they could be building the sets.
Like,
dude, I'm looking at the dark under your eyes. It looks like you had one hell of a time last night.
Oh, bro, man, that's just me,
That's just the way he always looks.
Yeah, now we both
getting a little old.
Now we both last night. We both, because we was hanging last night after the show, and for us, Mitch, as comics, we're like, hey man, just an hour.
Yeah,
we're just gonna be here for an hour.
Gil always has that hamburger look to him, so don't worry about it.
It's 12:30, and I'm like, man, and I'm married. Miguel ain't got to go home to nobody.
I still got to wake up in the morning.
Yeah.
Like you ain't like going.
Yeah. You're not gonna get in trouble though.
No, man.
Hey, Mitch, is this this isn't the first comedy? This not the first comedy show. You guys done comedy before?
I want to say this is the first time for stand-up comedy.
Wow. And so why comedy? Why did you think, hey, this would be a sell for this venue?
Well, it's like I said, it's a beautiful historic building, and seats a little over 200 people, and it will give an opportunity, I think, for James, who's been he's been established in the area for a while, and what I like to do is have him come in and bring other local talent in, give them the opportunity. I know, with you guys, from what I understand, you're constantly writing, you're constantly working, and the more experience you get in front of an audience, you're able to fine tune and tweak your set, your routine. So, if we can provide that opportunity, have a place where you can be in front of a live audience, entertain the people. Plus, it's not very often that stand-up comes into this area. Everybody has to travel down to Orlando, and you're dealing with the traffic and the parking and the this and everything that goes along with that. But here, we've got 3 or 4 towns, anywhere from 15, 20,000 people each, that are all within 10 miles.
I feel like that's like the perfect kind of town to do a church revival. They
come
in there.
They shot Footloose from that town, right?
Yeah, you'd be like, you know what, guys? I'm sitting here and I'm thinking this town needs some rain. That's why Ken Miller and Miguel Colon came with their rain fandango machine. We're gonna fire nitrous and silver into the air and save your crops. Yeah. But first, we need a little faith money. Yeah,
that would go over like gangbusters up here too. I'm sure.
Get on the organ, Sheila. Do 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 do. Jesus gonna save this town. First, need some money to spread around.
Hey Jeff, you said Footloose was filmed there. Or you were joking?
Yeah, that's where they based it on, where they weren't allowed to dance in that city.
Oh, so you?
Why are you listening to me? What is wrong with you? You actually?
I was like, no, that's kind of cool.
Well, that's why Baptists can't dance, because it's too much like fornicating standing up.
That's why Catholics are like, we can dance, but we can't dance.
This show's called Real Laughs, not Good Laughs. Okay. Yeah. I was just trying to sell
however, you may be joking around, but they did years ago. They filmed. Filmed a movie in Mount Dora where they
filmed one movie in Mount Dora. And you can't remember it. They filmed one movie in Mount Dora. You can't remember.
Deliverance. No, okay.
No. It was, they painted the whole downtown pink. It had William Devane, the guy who's hawking gold now. He was in it. Honky Tonk Freeway. That's the name of it.
Oh, that's not a movie. That's a Tubi movie.
Yeah. Hey, if everybody listening, May 11th, 8 p.m., James John, Jay Clark, Joe Latham at the State Theater of Eustis, Florida. Make sure you go check it out. We got Mitch Bozeman on. Mitch, are you a huge fan of stand-up?
Oh, I love it.
Who's your favorite comic?
That changes so much. I mean, of course, Carlin was always a favorite. I got very lucky to see him in the 80s back at Bob Carr. My dad had no idea. He thought he was still doing the hippy dippy weatherman until I came out later and was repeating some of the jokes. Bill Burr I love. Gaffigan. There's just so many great comics out there, and I come across more of them. There's some Ian Baggs is great at crowd work.
Now, Mish, you're an actor too, though, right? Like you've been in plays and stuff as well, right?
Yes, sir.
How long have you been acting? Like, was it something you did in your youth? Was it something you picked up in your later age?
I did in my youth, growing up in Leesburg, Yeah, another big metropolis. I was acting at Melon Patch Players there.
I performed at Melon Patch at that theater. Jim Clark, but yeah.
Oh, I know. And then of course, I had my military career, and it wasn't until about 7 years ago, a friend of mine asked me, he said, "Hey, we need somebody for this play. We just need somebody big," and I was like, because I'm 6'6". He says, "We need somebody big for this show. It's a musical. You don't have to sing." I was like, "Good, because that ain't happening." And then I just kind of fell into it again. And
Got the bug. He got the bug.
Yeah. And so I've done some shows at Main Street. And we did To Kill a Mockingbird and
Who did you play
Diary
to
of
Kill a
Anne Frank.
Mockingbird?
I played the sheriff.
You played the sheriff? Nice,
Yes, sir.
man. Nice.
Yeah, I mean, and
if you 6'6" and you that big, you actually killed the mockingbird.
Oh,
it crossed my mind.
Mitch, you're an actor. You did theater as a kid. You were in the Navy. Did you ever want girls?
Well, let me put it this way, Miguel. Back in the day, in my 20s, in my Big Daddy Boom Boom days,
Big
I was
Daddy
pulling
Boom
more
Boom.
Big Daddy Boom Boom.
I was pulling more tail than a kindergarten class at a damn petting zoo. So
This Bozeman's everywhere. There's probably kids all over you like, who that 6'6" boy? But
I'll tell you
like,
what,
oh, hush up. Don't worry about him.
yeah, you come across the Filipino basketball team in the Olympics. Just saying.
It's all Bozeman's.
That's where all those European players came from.
Yo, if you listen, don't forget May 11th, the State Theater of Eustis, Florida. James John, Jay Clark, Joe Latham, May 11th, 8 p.m. Make sure you go out and get your tickets, man. This is James' first ever theater show. So let's make sure we out there. If you're out in that area, sell it out. Or take the ride down from Orlando to go check out James John at the Eustis State Theater. So Mitch, before we came on, we were talking about the military. You served, how long did you serve in the Navy? What did you do?
I was a crypto tech. I did the whole ride. So a cryptologic technician. I was all over the place because I kept volunteering to, even though Navy is, never again volunteer yourself. They said, hey, would you like to go out to sea? And I said, yeah, sure. Where's it going? I didn't care. I just, mostly on
cryptological tech do though. What is that?
That's the combination of the marijuanas, the different ones,
Yeah. I wish. No, decoding, communications.
Did that work for you when you got out? When I was an information systems tech in the military, so I did computer programming and all that. So when I got out the military, I jumped right into the same job I had.
Unless I wanted to work up at NSA or somewhere like that. No, there's nothing practical. Honestly,
you didn't want to take an NSA job, bro.
They ain't gonna let him do My Fair Lady on stage. He's NSA. Come on.
No. I did. Well, I'd have to live up in Maryland. It was fine when I was stationed up there.
Yeah.
But it's a little pricey, and
oh yeah.
Yeah, because I was stationed in DC and we got a minute left. I was stationed in DC, and when I got done, I was working at White House Comms. I wanted to stay up there. I could have stayed at the Pentagon. I could have stayed working at the White House. I could have found a GS job, but I came to Orlando and started working for Nextel.
That's what you do when you retire. You move to Florida.
Pentagon or a kiosk.
I work for Cricket Wireless or the government. I don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
We got to get up out of here, man. Before we go, don't forget the State Theater of Eustis, home of the Bay Street Players, James John, Jake Clark, Joe Latham. May 11th, 8 p.m. Mitch, full bar. We got a full bar there. That's good liquor. They're going to have food, snacks, something like that.
Yeah, they'll have some snacks and concessions, but there's it's right in the downtown Eustis area. There's restaurants all around. So, you've got your pick of whatever you want to eat, burgers, Mexican, seafood. It's all right there.
Well, Mitch, brother, thank you so much for kicking with us, man. Once again, May 11th, 8 p.m., James John, Jake Clark, Joe Latham at the State Theater of Eustis, home of the Bay Street Players. And also look up Mitch Bozeman on social media so you can go see him kill the Mockingbird. We got to take a commercial break. We'll be right back. Real Labs, Real Radio 104.1. Back, Real Labs, Real Radio 104.1, your nightcap of comedy. My name is Ken Miller and the Big Chair tonight, guys. Do us a favor, go out to social media, man, and go click that like, love, subscribe button and follow us. We truly appreciate it. Videos are up on YouTube so you can see these beautiful ass faces. And if you miss any of our shows, 1,000 shows, go to iHeart, search Real Labs, and you'll be able to listen to us in podcast format. Join the virtual studio with Miguel Colon Jr. and from the law offices of Kaufman and Lynn, Mr. Jeff Kaufman. Miguel, you missed the 1,000th episode, bro.
I know, man. I know. I'm a little sad about that too, because I had a whole idea for it. I was like, it needs to be a clip show. Like, we just don't even need to be there and just play clips from all our other shows and then be
Yeah.
like, wow, we recorded it and be like, wow, that was an amazing segment. But really, we're just all eating and getting drunk. Yeah.
I was at the Improv Honey Bowl last week, and Jolly was in town, and we were talking about. He says, "Man, nothing's better than Baby Dropbox."
Baby Dropbox is fire. And Jolly was locked up when he was listening to that. Jolly was locked listening to like a radio made out of a pencil and a styrofoam cup.
Yeah, he's like, man, I could have left my son there. Now I had to raise him. That's
Hey, did I tell you I physically saw a Baby Dropbox? I saw the one in
You
Cali.
sent us a picture of it.
Yeah, it was wild.
Yeah,
like, I can't imagine
How
that.
big are those things too? I mean,
So it's like this. I know this is a weird comparison, but it's like the size of a freezer. You know, like the standalone freezers that you have. Yeah, it's like the same.
I guess that takes care of it on its own, right?
Yeah, they just drilled a couple air holes in it, yo.
Yeah, they go.
who
Who forgot the air holes? Well, that took
Like,
care of that problem.
Who's the certified Baby Dropbox installer?
Yeah. And who was the first babies that it got tested on? Because a few of them had to got,
they put dogs and monkeys in those things.
Nah, man, they went out to like Uzbekistan and they were like, hey, yo, I want to buy a couple babies real quick. Like, I got babies all day. What do you need, babies?
Baby Dropbox is up there. Kenny's grocery store. Omelet Station.
I told you when I was at that hotel. When I was at that hotel in Tennessee last week, they had an omelet station. I was like, uh-oh. I didn't know they was up to gangster business here.
And it's so great when we see people. Shout out to the guy James and his wife who came to the show last night. I'm so sorry. We didn't get his wife's name, but we did meet a gentleman named James who listens to us. Enjoyed the show. I promised him we would give him a shout out tonight. So James, shout out to you and your lovely wife. Thank y'all so much for coming out to Vintage X last night for the Don't Tell show. And that's always dope. It's always dope when we're out and I introduce myself. Like, yeah, we listen to you on Real Laughs. You know, I'm like, thanks, man, because we joke about having 4 listeners. And so we met 2 last night. So now we're up to 6.
Let me ask you a question, because last night we were hanging out. We were hanging out with Chris Alexander. If you guys don't know Chris Alexander, he's been on the show before. He told us that he was once trying to be a professional wrestler.
Teddy Vermont.
Teddy Vermont was the worst wrestling name ever. Yeah, it's a stupid name.
It sounds like a guy who rips you off in a Ponzi scheme.
Yeah.
Teddy Vermont sounds like a gay porn star who's never going to make it and won't allow them to talent test him. He's like, you test my blood? I told you don't let them test my blood. They gonna not let me work. But so Chris Alexander and Dwayne Williams are 2 of your features, and I gotta ask you a question, because can you bully? Like, not we all bust chops, but you bully Chris Alexander and Dwayne Williams.
Yeah.
And you bully, and you want other comics to bully them. Like, you encourage the bullying of them.
Well, they're minions.
Do you ever think they get on a phone call and just talk to each other about you sometimes?
Probably. Hey, but this the thing though, Miguel. They bully me worse. You guys see me. I'm telling you. I said it last night. Dwayne called me in the morning. Hey, what's up, BAN? Yeah. And I'd be like, bro, it's 8:30. Like, you woke up to that? You woke up to just being me. Like, dog. And Chris the same way. Chris is but that's how we rag on each other.
Chris don't wake up at 8:30. Who you kidding?
That is true. Chris don't wake up.
Chris rolls around 2:00 trying to figure out if he's got half a burger left on the table.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, but now we bully each other. Now we're like that to each other. But that's how our friendship is. And it's weird we say that because I can't be that way with other comics.
Yeah,
because I'm mean. You know what I'm saying? Like, for us, that's our conversation. When you see it, you be like, dang, bro, y'all must hate each other. But that's like we said last night. That's how we talk to each other. But at the end of the night, what I say, love you, bro. Get home safe. Let me know when you're home.
Hey, my favorite was last night. Last night, oh no, I don't know if you were in the room, Ken, when we were busting on Cam. We were busting on Cam Patterson. For those of you who may not know who Cam Patterson is, go check him out. Cam's so funny on his social media. Cam Patterson's blown up. He's been opening for Shane Gillis. He opened for Tony Hinchcliffe. He's just here in Orlando this weekend at the Hard Rock, I think it was, for Tony Hinchcliffe. Cam Patterson's on his way all the way up. He's Orlando comic, young dude, great dude. But he got a little bit of fame from Kill Tony, and his hard work and his comedy has helped him move forward. And he's one of the most sought after openers right now. And you will be seeing him in bigger tours. But we were busting his chops in the green room after the show, and Cam was just sitting there spinning around on this chair, and we were busting his chops. And then he just stops. He goes, "Hey, real quick, what do y'all think about it when y'all do arenas?" Yeah. He goes, "All right," and then he just started spinning on his chair again.
Yeah. But the crazy thing is, he added everybody in there. He's been doing it 3 years. He's the most famous person in the room.
Yeah,
And we still was destroying him like he was just some comic who just started a couple weeks ago. But that's just how we are.
Yeah.
And he wasn't mad, wasn't offended. He ain't go on Facebook like these old bullies who ain't going nowhere in life. He took the joke, spun around, said, "I'm doing arenas."
Yeah.
And then spun back around. And then guess what? We kept busting his balls out there. We didn't even stop. Cool, you doing arenas. We still gonna keep getting on you, dog. This not about to stop.
But you know, he probably you gotta realize when people kiss your ass 24/7, you don't want to be around those guys.
Well,
I mean, some people do. Some people do, but if you're real, you don't want to be around anybody who looks at you differently. That's why you don't get new friends. That's why you stick with your old friends, because they treat you like the same way they try. You know, people.
The cool
treat
thing
you when
with
you were
comedy
nothing.
is, and I think we've all learned this, is that's how, other than like some new comics that are, young kids just trying to get on and stuff like that. Any comic who's been working doesn't get starstruck. They bust chops. Yeah. Anybody. And that's cool. It keeps you grounded. Now, you know when dudes are bitter, there's a difference between being bitter and you see people bitter. Because when you're bitter, you're not laughing and busting chops. You just sitting there in the back like, "Oh, Ken Miller think he all big because he got all that bonkers money." You know?
That's a chalupa and a taco money.
Yeah, he getting that all for the money, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, Jolly was here. Shout out to baby bro. And we was sitting outside the Funny Bone open mic. And I said, "Man, you still ugly." I said, he said, "But I'm famous." I said, "But still ugly."
Yeah.
But that's just us. That's just how we do, man. That's just the comics. So when you're around comics, and I don't know if anybody else, do you think like actors and rapper, like other people act like this when they're
I will say this, Ken. I have learned that compared to comedians, rappers, actors, musicians, a lot of times can be very more introverted until they're around people that they really trust and feel comfortable with. But comics aren't that way. The minute they're in the room, it's not like I'm gonna sit here quietly and not talk to somebody, and I think it's just different motivations. But I think coming from the comedy world, every comedian I've met that was cool was the same way. Like the minute they had something to bust chops on, they busted chops.
Yeah.
You know, I find out when I do conventions and I travel around the country doing comic books and I'm hanging out with actors from different shows and everything, they don't want to be around fans. They want to be in these small groups where they can talk about their families and do, laugh about their own stuff. And they don't want to ever feel like, they're on stage having to perform, when they're off. And that's a lot of times, I remember meeting a lot of guys and I never even acknowledged what they were. And they go, "Yeah, is he coming to dinner?" Because that's what they want. They want to be able to be real in real life and not have to be like, oh, you want an autograph?
The coolest thing for us though, too, Ken, is I think compared to everybody else's art, our art can transcend from being on stage to being in an elevator with somebody to being on a road trip. Musicians and stuff, when they're on stage, when they got their tools, their guitars and their instruments and stuff like that, that's when they do their art. But our art is just, it needs one other person in the room.
Yeah.
That's all we need. We just need one other person in the room to hear us talk. And then if that other person's funny too, this is going to be even better. That's our version of a jam session. Our version of a jam session is busting chops. Like yesterday in the green room, that's our version of a jam. So you watch everybody do their thing the way they do. We were watching Showtime at the Apollo.
Jeff, we had Showtime at the Apollo on TV because the TV was one of those regular antenna type TVs. So you just get channels,
and somehow you get the Apollo. What was it, Afrotainment or something? What do you got going on there?
Yeah, it was the Tight Mic show. So we were scrolling. We were just trying to find something. We were actually trying to find a game, and I was like, "Oh snap! Showtime at the Apollo." and we put it on, and it was like old school Steve Harvey, big suits. It was like, and so we had that on in the background. We're making fun of that. We're making fun of each other. And like you said, I never really thought about it. It's a jam session.
Yeah, it's our jam session. I mean, and I think Jari yesterday, it was different generations too, which was funny because me and Kev were talking about how you can't make fun of the kids on Showtime at the Apollo.
Yeah.
When the kids would come on, and then Jari's like, I don't care about none of them little kids. He's like, look at that boy forehead.
Yeah, because in the black community, you can't boo kids and you can't boo gospel music. Other than that, everything else can get booed.
Yeah.
And when the kids came on, we were like, Jar's like, yo, his forehead is mad big, son. I was like, yo, you can't.
He said his mom had to get an ABC section.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, man, that's just us. That's just us. So if you ever around a group of comics, you might think we don't like each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we also in your personal life will rip you too. There's nothing off limits. And that's why we had a comedian come in and he just lost his job and he'd been sulking for like a month. And I said, man, if you would have had us as your friends, you would have been done in 2 days.
Yeah.
We would have burned that out of you in 2 minutes.
Still killing James.
Yeah.
No, I'm not killing James. I was talking about somebody else. You know.
I'm talking about us, that we're still killing James.
And guess what? We keep calling it the Tight Mike Show. He lost his job a month ago.
Yeah.
Afro out there right now, man.
Afro's hiring white guys. You know, you guys are in trouble.
They going.
I'm gonna be doing that show. Hey guys,
Afro just kidnapping kids like Blood Diamond.
The highest rated show on Afrotainment is the Jeff Kaufman Show. Yeah, that Jeff Kaufman, he's funny.
Oh my goodness, the Jeff Kaufman Show. Yo, you should pitch it to him, Jeff. They'll probably take it.
Yeah.
Ain't got no more shows right now.
I'm willing to wear those boots. I'm in business.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I would like the Jeff Kaufman Show, and then Craig is like he's like your what's it called?
Ed McMahon.
Ed McMahon, yeah. But he's just doing curls the whole time. That's a good joke, Jeff. Somebody give me some protein whey.
Yo, you look over, he's bench pressing some little white lady.
Yeah. It's been a couple hours since I ate eggs. I need to eat these eggs.
You went to our movie Thursday night, Miguel.
Yeah, man.
What did you think of that trailer? Was that
good.
PCO?
I think it was sad because it always every trailer just always seems to be Jeff having the time of his life and Craig being like, "Why y'all don't want to hang out with me?" You know.
What was the trailer?
Somebody came to me and they go, you can get AI celebrity voices. It's crazy. You put anything in there. And I said, oh, this will be cool. I'm going to get Ryan Gosling's voice and my life's going to get better. And Craig's going to get really jealous and then he's going to do it. And we're going to give him Emily Blunt's voice at the end. And it wound up to be really funny. But I mean, we do a lot of special effects in our trailers. So this was like a subtle one where we just stole a voice. And it wound up to be pretty. Oh, and I'm talking to Taylor Swift on the phone about how she wants me to go to her concert and sing the Ken song for her. So yeah, it was pretty funny, man. We had a good time.
Good. Glad you had a good time, man. But with that being said, we got to go to commercial break. We'll be right back. Real Last Real Radio 104.1. Real Last Real Radio 104.1, your nightcap of comedy. My name is Ken Miller, running this show tonight, man. Guys, do me a favor. Go out to Instagram, follow, Facebook, follow, Twitter, follow. Also go out and search iHeart and go search Real Last. 1,000 episodes of Real Last, brothers and sisters. So thank y'all so much for tuning in for these past 7-8 years. And also, you want to see these beautiful faces, you can go out to YouTube and check that out as well. I'm about finished uploading our rest of our clips. Got Miguel Colon in the house, Jeff Kaufman from the Kaufman and Lynn law offices of Kaufman and Lynn. And James is out. It's James' birthday. It's his birthday, man. How
weird do you think James and Michelle are gonna get on their birthday? I think guys, we know if you guys have listened to any of our episodes, 1,000 episodes in, I'll tell you guys one time, and maybe we've discussed it before. There was an episode where out of nowhere, James because James is like the kind of conservative member of our group when it comes to talking about certain things. Like I've been in the studio, we had a couple models come in the studio and she handed us some pictures of her and they were nudes, but it was like covered, like she was covering herself up. And James literally threw the picture, goes, Jesus, and threw it.
Yes. That's called being married, man.
And then though, honest to God, a few episodes later, he's like, I like to eat Michelle's butt. And we were like, what the what? We had an episode where he was talking about when me and Michelle were younger, we used to hook up in front of people, and I was like, who the who the hell, who is this man in my studio right now?
He breaks every once in a while.
He does, man. So I think it's getting weird right now. I think they're like, he's like, you want to do it on the Small World ride? She's like, again? Oh, Jimmy. I bet she got a weird nickname for it too. Jimmy, you're silly. You're silly.
Yeah.
But I remember thinking back, we've done 1,000 episodes. I thought how much like we've changed, we've grown. And it was different. In the beginning, it was different. Like we were all wooden. We were all a little wooden, like trying to figure out how to do this. And one of my favorite to celebrate James Young's birthday, in fact, Scott Maffei and me talk about this all the time. Scott Maffei from the No New Friends podcast. Give that a listen. We would talk about one time we had this guy on, and Scott was on the show, and we were in studio, and he brought all this barbecue. And he had a barbecue restaurant down on 50. And I'm so sorry, I can't remember the name of the place. It was fire. And he comes in, and we used to laugh that James is on train tracks. Like James, as much as I will jump around and change the show from everywhere, and I know that's my fault, James will keep going straight no matter what happens. And while this dude was on the show, the dude starts talking to us, and he's like, yeah. And James is like, so tell us about the sides you got at your restaurant. And the dude's like, yeah, actually, he's like, I've got the mashed potatoes. He's like, funny thing about my mashed potatoes, he's like, I've got the gravy recipe from the original KFC. He's like, because my grandmother had an affair with Colonel Sanders. And we all go, and James goes, and James literally goes, so tell us about the mac and cheese. And I was like, whoa. I was like, your grandmother had an affair with Colonel Sanders? He's like, yeah. And then James is like, and you guys have cornbread? And I was like, so me and Scott Maffei for the No New Friends podcast, we have this joke. Anytime some like sensational news drops and we hear it, we'll be like, so tell us about the mac and cheese, though.
Was this a white or black dude?
White dude, man. Yeah, old white dude. A white dude and his grandmother worked for Colonel Sanders, and they were hooking up on the side. And when Colonel Sanders, I guess, and I'm messing this part up because I can't remember if he sold the company or something. He gave her the rights to use some of the sides recipes because she was starting a restaurant too. And so, she was giving that good. And he was like, hey, baby.
I'm wondering if Colonel Sanders like Porky Pigs it when he's like having an affair, like he just drops the pants.
Oh, yeah. No pants.
I say like Foghorn Leghorn as he's having sex.
2 pistols with pearl handles and just shooting in the air.
No. You know how good that thing got to be to give your secret recipe away?
Bro. Yeah. He's like, hey, girl, I'll tell you all the spices. It's salt and pepper. That's it. Hey, show me what that butt do.
Cumin.
She's sitting there, man. Colonel Sanders got his little tie on, white jacket. He's holding the lapel sides, hitting it up. And she's like, so how are the biscuits made? He's like, flour, honey.
That is insane, bro.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's got to be
funny.
the good for him to be like, hey, I'll give you the mashed potatoes. She's like, you give me that gravy recipe and I'll take that gravy. He's like, girl, I have you smothered covered like a Waffle House hash brown.
Dude, and the dude told the story on air.
He's telling it on air, but we couldn't get the story out of him because James literally was like, guys, we got to. And then afterwards, we made fun of it because Scott was there with me. And afterwards, James was like, guys, we got to keep on track. And we're like, my man was about to tell us the affair with Colonel Sanders.
Yo, that's funny. But I feel like now you're right. We have grown because when I came on, we were doing celebrity birthdays.
Yeah.
God, what else were we doing? Like it was like nothing nobody wanted to listen to.
Yeah, we were just figuring out. Now I tell you this too. Here's some real laugh stories from the vault. I'll tell you guys a story. One time, Ken would come in sometimes to fill in back when we were in the studio. And Jeff, one time, most of the times when Ken would come in, I would get like a liquor rep to bring us some liquor, right? And one time it was me, Ken, Holly Frost, and somebody else. And we got lit to the point where this girl was sitting there, eyes closed, me and Ken just giggling, and Casey's basically like, we got to cut the show, boys.
Yeah, because Holly was just cussing.
Yeah.
I'm talking about every cuss word you could, and she was slurring her words.
Yeah.
Hey, Casey just came on to the speak. He just, hey y'all, we can't do this one.
He stopped the show on us.
He said we can't do it.
He's like, all right, boys, y'all
Uh,
had a good time. This was like and we used to do 4 shows in one day. So this was like show 2. He's like,
yeah,
all right, end of show 2, beginning of show 3. He's like, all right, we're done.
yeah. Oh,
I tell you,
and it's like 6 o'clock.
yeah.
Ugh.
I had to wait in studio like another 30 minutes before I could leave. I was like, well, I can't drive yet.
Yeah.
I tell you, one time, I don't know if we ever told you this one, Jeff. We had Natty's Seafood Boil. Shout out to Natty's Seafood Boil. We used to get restaurants just come into the studio, bring us food and everything, hang out. And so one time, Natty's Seafood Boil brought a whole seafood boil for us. And hey, Jack, just a heads up, we may have laid it out on the table, like the big table in the desk, dumped the whole seafood boil. So we're eating all this seafood boil. I think we had AJ Francis on. I think I invited a girl over too, just because I was like, hey, baby, you want to go to dinner? I was like, come on. So we're eating a
Have a
seafood
date
boil.
at iHeart.
Yeah, we're eating a seafood boil in the studio. It's me, James, AJ Francis, and this girl I was talking to, having a blast, right? Well, when it was done, we were drinking a little drink. I think we had touch vodka on. We're drinking. We're having a good time. We throw away all the seafood boil stuff. Well, we forgot to take the trash out with us. So we threw it in the garbage. And this is like Sunday at like 7 o'clock in the evening. So that garbage can was full of lobster, shrimp, everything. And so the next day, when Dirty Jim and Russ and all of them came in, they were like, "Oh!" said the green room. He hit him. He goes, "It smelled like a fish market in a heat wave." And then they hit us up. They were like, "Hey, China seafood boil in there?" And I was like, "What?
What?
You wildin'?"
Which
No,
is
we
wild
had-
because that little refrigerator they used to have in there was stank. Like
Thank
they,
on you.
it was
oh my-
there. I'm like,
I
y'all don't
used
have a cleaning person?
I would dump
This is
stuff out of
iHeart.
there.
They don't even have a person.
Yeah, here's this, man. I would dump stuff out of that fridge and clean it because it was so stank. And then like 3 weeks later, I'd get a text from one of the other radio shows like, "Hey, did you throw away my spicy peanut sauce?" I was like, "It didn't have a lid on it. It was in there with no lid on."
Yeah, it's so. Oh, that's so. That was the first time I ever had the spotters.
Oh,
It was the first time I had the spotters. Okay, no lie. I had the cheesesteak. I had never had their Italian.
Oh, you fell in love with the Italian
And I fell in
sub.
love with Italian, yo. Oh, dog. It was because at first I'm like, I don't really like the cold subs like
Right,
that.
yeah.
He said, trust me. And man, bro, I think I ate 2 8-inch Italian subs.
Yeah,
I got what they call the meat sweats.
the meat
I was
sweats.
Yeah.
sweating, bro. It was so. And after that, the only thing I ever got from the spotters was the Italian. Shout out to Vinny LaSpata, man, for coming through. Yeah, we used to. I miss the
I
studio.
miss the studio so much.
I miss the
Jeff,
studio.
we got in trouble because we went live and we had the Outpost there. We had the Outpost come in there and they were frying chicken live in the studio. And we went live on like Instagram. We're like, "Hey, we got Outposts in here. They're deep frying chicken. We got deviled eggs everywhere." And we literally get a text message from Jack. "Y'all can't fry chicken in the studio." There's
He
no
listens
ventilation.
to every second of the shows.
Yeah,
I want you
he
to,
does.
I'm on the show and I hear his voice come on, and I made this joke Monday morning. I was going, man, every time I hear Jack's voice, I imagine what he would sound like if he was the DJ at a strip club. And man, in 2 seconds, I get a text from him.
Yeah. I remember the time we learned about the texting service so guys, we record, so we don't go live. So the texting service really didn't affect us because we couldn't look at what people were live reporting. But we found we could go back and they showed us, and it was heartbreaking. Like in the beginning, I was like, "Yo, let's read some of the text and see what the people say." Never read the text. No
Never
good
read the
people
text.
are on the texting service. The good people, they just like your show, they like your content. We were reading the texting service, and I was like, "Oh my God." I was going back and I was like, I don't know which one. They said the fat one's unfunny. I don't know if that's me, James, or Devin. You know?
Man,
Which
you
is
got to
funny
get
'cause-
therapy after reading those texts,
Mhm.
man. I'm telling you, these people get on, they go, "You FMF." You're like, what? I don't even know
Yeah.
you.
What's funny about that is y'all on radio. How they know y'all fat?
Yeah, they just hear it in the breathing. They hear it in the breathing.
They can hear your lips flapping or something. I don't know what the hell.
Like, yo, the fat one is yo. You're like, how do you even know I'm fat, dog? Oh, I think you told me something about they would text the text service stuff about real laughs.
Oh yeah, they would text
But monsters in them would be like, who are they talking about?
Yeah, because they wouldn't text the texting service. They wouldn't say real laughs. They would just be like last night's show, blah blah blah, and the monster's like, "Who the hell is? What are they talking about?" I got a good one too. My cousin, God bless him, passed away. He didn't realize our show was recorded, so he would be just trying to call the station all the time when I was on, and he thought I was avoiding him. He was like, "I'm trying to talk to you on the ground." He would sit there drinking his late night beers and be like, "I was trying to call you. And you don't want to answer."
Hey, it ain't live, brother. It ain't live. Well, we got a minute and a half left, man. Guys, thank y'all so much for tuning in tonight. We truly appreciate it. Miguel, what you got going on this weekend, bro?
This weekend I'm chilling, man. Because guess what? Remember, guys, it is Mother's Day coming up this weekend, man. So be with your mama and tell her you love her. But on the 25th of May, I will be with Jeff Kaufman, who is my feature. We will be at Bloodhound Brewery, and that is the 25th of May, Bloodhound Brewery over there on Kirkman Conroy area. Shows at 8 p.m. Go check it out. It'll be on my social media.
Cool. Jeff, what you got going on this weekend, my friend?
I don't know. Thursday, I'm going to be doing comedy with some people. I don't remember who they are.
Oh my God!
What's wrong with you two?
I forgot. We've all got a show this Thursday, all for the money.
Well, I was gonna let you promote it. That's why
I 100% forgot.
What do you mean from you two?
Because I'm not sure what I'm doing. I got 3 weeks from now. I'm gonna be with Jeff somewhere.
Yeah,
2 days from now, we don't know where we're gonna be.
I sent it to you to promote it, dog. What are we talking about?
I forgot.
Yeah, we do the All for the Money show on Thursday. Miguel, James, Ken, and I, we tear it up for about an hour and a half. You know, we destroy the audience. It's a lot of fun and it's free. So go to whenyouneedus.com/events to get those free tickets so you can see all these beautiful faces.
And up close and personal, you get to see us, man.
In 5D.
I don't even know what that is, but all right.
It's smell-o-vision.
Thursday, okay. I'm at All for the Money at the corner with the fellas, man. Make sure y'all come out. This is our fourth one, and they just keep getting better and better.
Five.
Oh, fifth one. They keep getting better and better. So make sure y'all come out. Please come out, because if you don't, Jeff Kaufman is going to cry, and I don't like Jeff.
No, I'll sue you all. You just,
he'll sue you.
You'll get served. You'll be at your work. Why am I getting served?
Yo, and we're not talking about dancing served either. And Friday, I'm at one of Joe Neal's rooms. I was trying to look it up, I can't find it. And then Saturday, I'm doing somewhere in the Space Coast with Duck and Jay.
I help you out on Joe Neal's room. It's at a putt-putt place or a movie theater, or it's in the cab of a semi truck. I don't remember.
Bro, which would be crazy to do comedy in a semi truck.
Yeah,
as it's moving, that'd be a crazy don't tell, man. But we got to get up out of here, man. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Happy birthday to our brother James John. Hopefully James will be on later on this week. But we too appreciate it, man. Miguel Colon Jr., Jeff Kaufman. I'm Ken Miller. Jeff, tell them what to do.
Take your ass to bed.
Good night.